Think I'm drinking gross beer, but it's actually homemade kombucha, which is a fermented sweet tea, and I add fruit juice to it, and it's probiotic and healthy for you. And I've been drinking it every day for a couple months, or a month and a half probably. So, and it's something I make myself. It costs like $4 or $5 a bottle at the grocery store. You could make it for practically 50 cents a bottle if you make it home, and it's not that hard to make. But that's not what I'm talking about today. Today I want to show, because somebody asked for it, and Vonhelton's YouTube page is gone, but this is a video where Vonhelton shows his DD-214 and pwns himself without even knowing it, because an RE3 means you washed out of the military. Under honorable condition discharge meant you got in some kind of a court-martial or something. You got in trouble in the military. You don't get under honorable conditions. If you get out honorably, you get an honorable discharge. Under honorable conditions is a general discharge. It's not a good discharge, even though it sounds like it is. And the other thing, a JHJ, which is a means that he's a screw up. That's all it means. There's no. It's a one-liner. Very, if you look up the JHJ codes, there's the three-letter codes. I don't forget what the codes are called. I could look up my DD-214 on the wall up there, but I'm not going to. You can look it up. Discharge codes. RE3 is a bad discharge. Everything about his discharge that he shows in this video says that he got a bad discharge. And he also claims that he did civilian capacity, that he was this assassin superhero for the government, which if you get an RE3, and I Googled RE3 and found out that you cannot work in law enforcement and you cannot get a security clearance. So even if you got back in the military with RE3, he couldn't get a security clearance. So therefore his top secret job he could never have had, because RE3, you can't get a security clearance, so he wouldn't have got a security clearance for any kind of government work. And so he's a Valor thief, and he also lies about what he did after he got out of the military. But lying and Vonhelton, go hand in hand. But let me just show you the video. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to show the video in its entirety, and you can make up your mind for yourself. But do your research on all his claims.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I figured out how to do this without revealing too much of my personal information. All right, in my nubby little digits here is my DD-214, or a portion thereof. I'm obviously not going to show you my entire DD-214, so you can go fuck yourself. However, what I will show you is that it says clearly on my DD-214, under honorable conditions. It also states on there that my re-enlistment code is RE3. Folks, if I was dishonorably discharged, or if I was released on a medical, my re-enlistment code would not be RE3. Okay, it wouldn't. I wouldn't be allowed back in the service if I was dishonorably discharged or released on a medical. Now, the separation code there is JHJ. I'm sure a troll or hater will look it up. However, trolls and haters, I would remind you that the JHJ code does not necessarily apply to me in total. Okay, there are certain aspects of the JHJ code that do apply. There are certain aspects that do not apply. Okay, so researching the JHJ code to your heart's content is not going to help you, trolls. Okay, the point is, though, is that the trolls and haters were claiming that I was released from the Army under a dishonorable discharge or a medical discharge. But as you can clearly read, if you can read English, you can clearly read, no, that's not the case. I was released under honorable conditions. So all you trolls and haters have now been pwned, you've now been shot down in flames, and you can suck on my big 10-inch. Alright? So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Y'all have a pleasant day and a better tomorrow. See ya. Bye.
So Vonhelton, in a chat room recently, a video chat, he said that he's going to take away my VA benefits. because I pried into his government record. I never pried into his government record. He made this video that you just saw. That's all the ammo I needed for all my videos, poning him as a stolen valor, proving him as a stolen valor. He lies about his military service over and over again. He lies about civilian capacity over and over again. And I don't, I'll just put these videos out so people will know the truth. Vonhelton did serve in the Army. Vonhelton, thank you for your service, if you happen to watch this video. And I mean that, really. I pwned the hell out of you, but thank you for at least trying to serve this country. Even though you failed at it, probably because of poor hygiene is my theory. There are several other theories out there. I think it was poor hygiene and an inability to follow directions. But you had enough to get through boot camp, and you had enough to get through tanker school. And hey, Vonhelton, you at least got to drive a tank. I've never driven a tank. I drove a tracked vehicle one time, an armored personnel vehicle, and I drove it about 2 blocks on a dirt road one time just because I asked if I could drive it, and they let me drive it. But that was the closest I ever got to driving a tank. And you got to drive a tank, so, be proud of that and stop lying and making up shit, because you drummed out of the military. You can use a different word, say I couldn't make it in the military, or you just wasn't suited for military lifestyle, which is true. I mean, you couldn't make it in the military. I mean, I seen your goofy pictures from that age. So what? You didn't make it, but at least you tried. And that makes you a veteran in my book. 9 months veteran. You didn't, you weren't a Cold War hero, anything like that, but you were a guy who tried to serve his country and you failed, but at least you tried. At least you gave it some effort. All right? Goodbye. Oh, yeah, one more thing I failed to mention. I may have mentioned it before in another video. I might have mentioned this video, but I don't know, but it needs to be mentioned. If you get an RE3, you cannot work in law enforcement. So Vonhelton going after bad guys in civilian capacity, no, didn't happen. The other thing you can't do with RE3 is you can't get a security clearance. Vonhelton never got a security clearance, so he couldn't have been no top secret government agent because he couldn't get a security clearance because he has an RE3 on his record. So those are two things that RE3, if you Google it, and I think I did mention it in this video, but it needs to be said twice anyway, so it's being said twice. And this time, I am serious. The end of the video.